I'm Mitali Jaiswal. I'm the CEO, founder and director of Life Sutra. I'm a professional counselor, former Mrs Delhi NCR, and also I run my NGO called Suicide Free India. I want to begin this talk with a story today, a beautiful story of a beautiful girl. Her name was Mehak. She is 23 years old. She was a beautiful girl with a beautiful soul. She believed in love. She believed in doing good for others. And she also believed in doing good for her parents. She had a younger brother who looked up to her. Her mother and father adored her. She always did things as per her parents' wishes. She was a good girl. She also just got married. The guy she married, she was madly and deeply in love with her. You might think this story is very, very dreamy. But here comes the tragic part. She got divorced within 2 months of getting married. The guy did not love her. Maybe he married her for dowry, who knows? When she told him that she wants to die if she is not with him, he asked her to do it. He also asked her to record a video of doing that because nobody should blame him. Her father and mother pleaded, cried. Her father begged to not do that grave mistake. She did not listen to the man who loved her all her life so much. But she listened to the man who did not love her at all. She recorded a video before she died. She recorded a video to save him before she committed suicide. This is a true story. I watched this story on various news channels. I also heard the conversation with her father, where the father is crying and begging to not commit suicide. It broke my heart and I felt responsible. I felt responsible for this because if I, with all my knowledge of psychology, NLP and counseling of thousands of people, if I'm not doing anything about this, then I am responsible. And we all are responsible if we can do something about this and are not doing anything about this. So that day, she changed my life. She gave me a mission of Suicide Free India. Mission to save young boys and girls like her from this deadly disease called suicide. I had already left my job with 16 years of corporate and I was being forced by my family to join corporate again. But now I had a mission much bigger than my life. I had the mission of Suicide Free India. So let's look at why this is so crucial right now. Let's look at that. As per NCRB, the National Crime Records Bureau ADSI report, Accidental Death and Suicide in India report, 1,64,000 people have already died this year by suicide. This has been the highest death by suicide since 1967. 1967, which means that 450 people are dying every single day. In India only, by the way. And 18 people are dying per hour in India only. And the worst part is 13,000 students are already committed suicide this year. It has been on a rise for a long, long time. We already knew it. From 2010 till now, it has been on the rise. But during the pandemic years, 2020 and 2021, it rose even further. This data is again from NCRB. We also have data on which methods they use, the students, which methods they use to die. But I don't want to look at the methods. I'm just thinking 13,000 young people who have not even started their life are dying because of suicide. We also have data on which states are at the highest in terms of student suicide. It's Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Odisha. We also have data on why male student suicide is more than female student suicide. I wonder why is that? We can look at data all we want. Out of 10,000 students which are under the 18 years of age, only 864 died because of failure in examination. Rest all of them died due to family problems. But this data is nothing. This does not answer the main question. The main question is, why? Why do people take this extreme step? Because let me tell you, committing suicide is not easy. It is the most difficult thing to do because the part of our brain, amygdala, programmed to save us from harm and danger, does not let us do self-harm. It is our most basic programming to survive. We are programmed to survive. We are not programmed to harm ourselves. So doing that is the most difficult thing to do. So what is it? How does it start? All this conversation of suicide, where does it start? You know where it starts? It starts with statements like, oh, my class is so boring, I want to die. Oh, my life sucks, I just want to die. I'm such a disappointment to my parents, I wish I was never born. These are not funny statements. These are a cry for help. Someone is crying for help. It can be a temporary feeling or a lingering discomfort. Discomfort is the main problem why people don't want to talk about suicidal thoughts. Parents, families, peers, everybody is scared to talk about suicide. Because right now when I'm saying suicide again, a lot of people in the audience are getting uncomfortable by it. This discomfort is the main problem that we cannot reach help. And that's why I want to talk about the myths about suicide. Why don't people talk about suicide? Myth number 1, we think that people who talk about suicide are attention seeking. We are all guilty of that. If someone wants to talk about suicidal thoughts, we think they are attention seeking. No, my dear friend. They are just asking for help. Myth number 2, you shouldn't talk about suicide because you will give someone the idea to do it. No, that's also a myth. It is the most difficult thing to do, and that's why it is not possible that you can give the idea to someone to commit suicide. Point number 3 and the myth number 3, the person, if someone has decided to do suicide, you cannot really help them. That's absolutely wrong. We can definitely do something about it, and that's what we are doing right now. So if suicide is treated as a disease, I want to bring this idea in front of all of you. If suicide is treated as a disease like COVID or polio, we have been polio-free since 27th March 2014. And if we treat suicide the same way, we can be suicide-free in the next couple of years. This can be done by strategy, approach, and evidence. It is already in place. The strategy to handle it, the approach, the evidence is already there. It's just a matter of bringing it into place, bringing it in the right form, bringing it with full zeal. And the key ingredient of all of this is hope. Suicide is a disease. Instead of killing the immunity of the physical body against diseases, it kills the immunity of the mind against self-harm and danger. Hope is the immunity against all the problems in life. And if we can create that little hope that everything will be over soon. Hope that good days are coming. Hope that there is someone out there ready to listen to your problems and help you out there. I think that can really solve this problem. There is a favorite verse of mine from Bhagavad Gita. It says that the one who has conquered mind is a great friend. For those who have not conquered their mind or failed to do so, mind can be the worst enemy. So how do we help people who are going through suicidal thoughts? What happens and how do we really help them? First is be a good listener and not an advisor. I think it is the most difficult thing to do, to not advise people. What they need is just good listening. Just good listening. Point number 2, show empathy, not sympathy. You will ask me, what is the difference? Empathy is when you do not understand their problem, but decide to respect their problem and respect their feelings about the problem. Point number 3, avoid giving your own experiences as an example, because everybody's emotional compass is different. Everybody handles emotions differently, and that's why your experiences will not help. Point number 4, speak openly about suicide and remove the taboo around the word suicide. Let's talk openly about it. Let's raise our hand and say that today I'm feeling a little suicidal. I want to talk to someone about it. Point number 5, help them look at support. Support is through community, through NGOs like us, or through student bodies, through peer groups, through help groups, through WhatsApp groups, any kind of support groups. And then number 6, create hope by joining us as volunteers. Become a pioneer, become the agent of spreading happiness and making India suicide-free. These are the various methods of doing so. And to all the people right now in the audience and all over the world who are listening to this, to all the students especially, I want to say this with all my heart, that I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that you are in so much pain. We, as a society, is very sorry that our students feel so much pain. And your pain is real. But let me tell you this, that the song of hope is singing, and I know you can't hear it right now, but one day you will, and we'll be there to help you. And I want to end this with a final quote from Obama. To all those who are hurting right now, it is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's a sign of great strength to ask for help. Thank you so much.